Hello, YouTube, it's your boy, the Crazy Trader, and I'm here again with your favorite stock review. Like I always say, scared money don't make no money, and you always got to risk it to get the biscuit. Guys, it's crazy. I've spoken about stock after stock. One of my favorite stock that I keep talking about is Iria. You guys know I've spoken about Robinhood. I love Robinhood to the core. One stock that I've spoken about a few times that I want to talk about today is Atai Berkeley. I have done a few videos about this stock, this company, and I want you to go back to some of my old videos. I think I have one or two videos about this particular one. We go down into research and then we dig deep down and then we look for stocks to talk about. And I always talk about, not always, but 99% of the things that I talk about, I own them. 99% of the stocks that I talk about, I own them. So I'll show you for, transparency purposes only. I'll show you that I own this stock, but I'll talk about it and I'll tell you the reason why I own this stock. So this is basically a pharmaceutical, and I believe everybody who trades stocks, if you own stock, if you're into investing, if you're like 20 years, from the age of 18 all the way to like, let's say 45 or 50, I think your portfolio should have like an assignment of risk. Okay. When you invest in all the safe stocks, you're supposed to leave about 2 to 5% of your portfolio to assign them to risky stocks. The higher the risk, the higher the reward, right? Um, do your diligence on these risky stocks and then assign this 2 to 5% on there. I do that all the time. Okay. So my 2 to 5% is assigned on Atai Berkeley. It's a biopharmaceutical. If you know how biopharmaceuticals move, they can go 100% today and zero tomorrow. So this is my high risk, high reward stock. And I'm going to talk about it real quick. What do? They are actually trying to use psychedelics to treat depression. So clinically, clinical depression, that they are using psychedelics to treat clinical depression. This is depression that cannot be treated with the normal medicines that you take, the normal medicines that have been created to treat depression. This is PTSD kind of depression. It's actually really, what they are doing is actually really good for veterans. That's why it's getting very fast approval from the FDA. Okay, so let's talk about the stock itself. I own a little bit of it today. It went up 14%, and I'll tell you why it went up 14%. I own a little bit of it. Um, I have gone a little bit over my 2 to 5%. 6% of my portfolio is dedicated to this company, and I'll tell you the reason why I love it so much. I've made a lot of money. The reason why it's 6% too is because I've made a lot of money on there. I have 1,300 shares of the stock. Uh, I'm up 89%, let's say 90% already, 7,500. So my average cost is $3, and as you can see now, it's $5. 67. I started buying this stock when it was around $1.20, but I DCA, so I dollar cost average. I buy almost $20 every day. I stopped it for a minute because I own more than I just wanted to buy 1,000 shares, and I bought way over 1,000, so I stopped doing the DCA for a short period of time. I'll see how it goes. My cap has been met already, so I don't mind. 52-week high is 6.75. 52-week low is 2.58. What are we looking at? PE ratio minus 2.22. They are not making any money as of now, so we can't even really tell that much. I'll show you one thing. 15 analyst ratings, all buy. 15 analyst rating, all buy. And this is one interesting that I want to show you before, because I always talk about this every time that I'm talking about stocks. I talk about the institutional ownership of stock. So I went to Nasdaq.com and I pulled up the institutional ownership. 27.15% is institutionally owned, which is pretty good, right? But this is where the kicker is. I want you to see the increased position, 115 increased position, decreased position 59. So there's a lot more people increasing their position than decreasing it. Okay, watch this. 78 new institutional holders in the last quarter. 72 new institutional holders in the last quarter. And I want you to look at this very well. In the last quarter, you had all the big boys coming in the last quarter. Vanguard Capital came in, bought 11 million shares, 11.7 million shares in the last quarter. You have UBS Group coming and buy 7.4 million shares. Millennium Management coming and buy 4.3 million shares. You have Charles Schwab coming and buy 1.8 million shares. They're all the big guys are in it now in the last quarter. And what did change is because the FDA gave them, a little fast approval, so they can, speed up the process in making this treatment available to, to the public. So the FDA is going to speed up the process, which is if you know how you know, um, drug development is done. There's a phase one, phase two, phase three, all those phases before it even goes all the way to, the process to come onto your shelves. They go through all the phases. It could take about 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and the FDA has approved them to speed them through the whole process, so it could come onto, the market faster. So a lot of people have jumped onto the ship now. I can proudly say I bought it before all these people got into it. I can proudly say that because I researched it earlier. And the reason for the jump today, I'll just show you the reason for the jump today, which is real quick. Atai Beckley stock jumps as FDA staffing guidance spotlights BPLs. This is the BPL 003 is their main drug that they are making for the treatment resistant depression. That's the main drug that they are making. And the FDA staff and guidance, spotlights the BPL 003's 2 hour edge. So their treatment actually has a 2 hour edge, which is a 2 hour, better time frame than their competitors, which is, I'll show you their competitors and why the price of this and the future of this is pretty good. Okay. I'll read just a little bit of it and I'll go down because it's a whole article that you can get on Nasdaq.com. So just go to Nasdaq.com, type out Ty Beckley in the article. You can look for it and type it. Okay, real quick, because I don't want to waste too much of your time. Tuesday, Atai Beckley shares jumped 15.6% to about 5.75 in Tuesday's afternoon trading as investors wait final US Food and Drug Administration guidance for psychedelic drug trials. The document expects two monitors to remain with a patient throughout a treatment session, making BPL 003's roughly 2 hour clinic model more relevant to operating costs. Duration is now a cost variable. So they don't need a lot of time for them to treat you in their facility, and by 2 hours you can get out of their facility without being monitored. A lot of the other competitors need about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of monitoring the patient before they can leave the facility. Atai Beckley doesn't need that. um, the game was much larger than those of the closest listed developers: Compass Pathways, Definium Therapeutics, and all the other da 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 da. Here's the security. So today you can see Atai Berkeley, the last price of 5.75. Compass Pathways is about double that price, right? Definium is about more than 9 times that price. That is why Atai Berkeley it's a more for the small retail investor. That's why Atai Berkeley is a more affordable investment. Real quick, I'm going to show you the phases too. Okay, Atai Berkeley's most participants in BPL 003's phase 2B trial met discharge criteria at the 90 minutes assessment, with the average across steady arms remaining within 2 hours. Compass 360, whatever, cyclobin experience typically lasts 6 to 8 hours, 90 minutes, and then 6 to 8 hours. Applying the FDA benchmark mechanically produces about 4 monitor hours for BPL versus 12 to 16 hours for Compass 360. So Atai is easy to actually give to the patient, monitor, and let them out of your facility in about 2 hours. Whilst for Compass 360, 6 to 8 hours, you still have to, observe and monitor them. Okay, so yeah, it is real quick. About 2 hours, about 4 months, 4 monitor hours, and that's the baseline. And Compass 360, 6 to 8 hours of monitoring, and 12 to 8 hours of 12 to 16 hours of monitor hours, 3 to 4 times higher. So Atai's, drug is more better to actually give to a patient, and is more easier for you to be in and out of their facility quicker. So a lot of veterans are actually using this, even though this drug is not, it's not legal yet. I hear some people go to Mexico to use it because it's a very, very potent drug that people are using. It's a psychedelic, and psychedelic is technically like poison, using poison. I don't want to call it poison in a way, but it's technically like using poison for a treatment, and that's how it is. And some people just get high with it. They just go and get high and they hallucinate and do all this good. But this is for treatment resistant depression. So they are actually using it looks like the bad drug to find a way to use in treating depression, which is really good. You can go through the whole document. I don't want to do that because I've already spoken about this stock over and over again. It's a great stock. I think it's going to grow some more. They have so many medicine, drugs in the pipeline. BP BPL 003 is in the pipeline. I think they're on the phase three, and then they have the VO. I've mentioned all this. I think that's on the phase two. You can look at my old video. I went through the phases, some of the medicines that they have, and some of the drugs that they are making, they're developing, and the phases that they are going through. Amazing company, amazing stock price. I'm up today. It's doing looking pretty good. I know by the end of the year, it's going to look really good. The analysts have given it a buy rating of $14. That's where they have put it, and I want to believe you it should be easy to get there because their next competitor is just at $15. And I want to believe that when after they are able to bring this drug to the market, at least $45, $50 should be able to be achievable for a pharmaceutical, or they get bought out by Eli Lilly for like 30, $40, a share. I don't think that is going to happen because this is a big market that nobody has explored yet, and they are going to explore that. So I want to believe they want to keep on to their company and do that. Yeah. Anyways, I've spoken about this talk already. You can go back and watch my video. Have a great time. Be safe and peace.